Hi there. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and I am inspired and ready to make that change. And I think that we have just the man to help us do that, inspire us, and also welcoming in our contributor, Cameron Riley. Cameron, let's say hello to SupaNova Slom. Hello,
Oh,
sir. How are you?
how's it going?
Good afternoon. Hey, good afternoon, Karen. Good afternoon, Miss Sybil. Thank you for having me. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. We have some of your followers in our camp, and they have given us the blueprint that you have provided, and talking about making your life healthier and a more holistic approach to all this. And so,
Absolutely.
and just our conversation before this, I hope everybody will get a chance to join and be a part of this conversation. Supernova Slom is a second generation holistic health practitioner and a hip hop performer. He has continued blazing a trail in the plant based supplement industry and the trail and wellness foods, and the trail pioneered by his wonderful mother, Queen Afua, who I don't know if you got a chance to see our newsletter today, Supernova, but your mom was featured that as our Black History fact. And
Oh, I gotta let
just a
I gotta let my mom know. That's so
Please do.
awesome.
Please
Yeah.
do. Supernova was born and raised in Brooklyn. He learned about the holistic health lifestyle from his mother and green food movement pioneer, Queen Afua. And after being raised in a place of holistic and healthy living, I'm very curious because in doing my research about you, you were born into this lifestyle. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Born. Yeah. Yeah. It's like born and
Okay.
raised. Born and raised. Yes.
So at some point, as children will do, you
Right.
kind of fell off the healthy living
Absolutely.
fast track and so was it the teenage years that
It was a
prompted you to do
teenage.
this?
Yeah. It was the teenage years. My mother. Um, the environment. Being raised in Brooklyn, it was like a food desert. For
Mm,
nourishment. So she really had to go above and beyond and make sure that we had organic foods and live foods. And really, like you talk, in our back seat, room, we were just building on about the greens, and the
hmm.
micronutrients and the benefits of the chlorophyll foods. And she makes sure every day that she would give us the green juices to balance our blood and keep our immune system strong. And naturally, the family members and extended family thought she was crazy and raised
Yeah.
in the 80s,
Hmm.
and that she was depriving us, and, so she had a lot of resistance, but she was steadfast with just making sure that doubling, tripling down that we had our nourishment by holistic means.
Hmm.
Naturally, coming to teenage years, want to be cool, want to be fit in. I thought that,
Yeah.
well, let me just kind of dumb some of that down because now I'm a teenager now, but not necessarily
And you know
eating any.
everything.
Well, yeah, right. That totally just not
Yes, of
not
course.
not not really with the meat because I was still honoring being a vegan.
Okay.
But it was really around the junk food. Okay,
Hmm.
eating too much of the junk food. But I made a connection. The connection that I made was, my father, who at that point, and my mother were divorced. And my father, he was dealing with crack cocaine addiction.
Mm,
So on one side, I had my mother, brownstone, Brooklyn, wellness, holistic lifestyle. The other
right.
side of my growth and development, my father, he's in the projects and going through that trial. So I realized that, the lack of having him, not really, I had male, like my uncles and, stepfather, people, their presence was there, but not having him there, I felt that I needed sweets. Like, it was bitterness, right? So I think I started making the connection, the
Hmm.
emotional connection to the food or to the drugs masquerading as foods. So I just kept eating the
Wow.
sugar, mainly the sugar.
Hmm.
Um, what happened was around that time that I was kind of rebelling in and going through my junk food, extreme junk food phase. My mother wrote her first book, "Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity." She had a few
Hmm.
iterations of it between 91 and like 93. By 93, it was
Hmm.
really starting to get out there. And I reached my peak in rebellion, wilding in the streets, just really into some really negative activities, so much that I almost lost my life in the streets. And that was my mom's red flag to send me down south to continue my education. You know, pull me from
They
this,
sent us down
pull me
south
from.
for the.
They sent us. Yes. So, but it saved my life. But one of the main things, it made me reflect on everything my mother was pouring into me years earlier. You know, about really eating,
Yeah.
the nutrition with foods as medicine and nature, and really owning my space. And because I was away from her, I had to heal myself. I had to heal thyself. And so I said, man, I'm in school. I'm away from New York. I'm down south. My skin was breaking out. I used to have clear skin at the time, but then I, started breaking out because of the processed sugar and the junk food. I said, I can't be around all these, down south girls with bad skin. I'm from New York. So I said, what did my mom always tell me? She said, hydrate, drink a lot of water. That's really how you get the moisture back in your body to actually detox. The water is the first superfood. Second, and it's abundant on the planet. The water we're living on the water planet, and our body's 70% water. So I said, yes, me hydrate. The second thing that I did, like you see me having now with the greens and the wine glass, is my mom would give me the micronutrients of the chlorophyll derivatives. Now, what that means is, you see chlorophyll is what makes the green, in the vegetables, right? But the micronutrients of the chlorophyll, it shows up in the phytonutrients of the seed, the spirulina, okay, and the chlorella. Those are the most nutrient dense plants in the sea. And the fishes or the sea animals that do not eat each other, that's what they eat to grow and
Sure, the
develop.
greens.
So
Yeah.
the chlorophyll in that and an aspect in the greens and the sea, and then the perigrasses she would give me over since I was little, alfalfa, dandelion, wheatgrass, and so the combination of having the perigrasses with the concentrated phytonutrient proteins of the sea vegetables, the sea chlorophyll foods. I said, I know how I can overcome my addiction to the sugar, because the process, sugar in its natural environment, it comes from the sugar cane, but when you heat it up, when you isolate it, and you heat it up, that's when it becomes an addictive thing. That's why we all keep coming back to it.
It's like the
And
drug. It's
also,
another drug.
it's a drug. Well,
Yeah.
now check this out between the sugar and the chlorophyll. So the sugar, the processed white sugar, right? It like if you study, an addict, like a heroin addict or a crack cocaine addict, right? It does this similar thing when you get into the body. It comes in, gives you a boost into the bloodstream, and gives you this like exuberant amount of rush, energy, excitement, euphoria, followed by a crash. Now that crash is the oxygen being cut off from the brain into the bloodstream, right? And it shows up in our children when our children, load up on a lot of junk food or heavy processed sugar foods for breakfast in the morning, and they go to school. Like the first two periods, they have energy, they're running around at school.
Right.
Third or fourth period, they're totally not paying attention. They're diagnosed with ADHD, but really they just have a lack of oxygen going back into their bloodstream, because the sugar, so they kind of a little bit maybe misdiagnosed. I'm not a doctor on that level. I would have referred that out, but in my
But
observation,
you
it would be,
recognize that.
I
Yeah.
recognize that just the rush and then the downer, right? And so the chlorophyll and its derivatives, like I mentioned before, from the phytonutrients and the micronutrients, it puts the oxygen back inside the blood, right? So so what the sugar crack or the sugar cuts off, the chlorophyll restores. It's a restorative element. It's a restorative, protein. It's a restorative mineral. And so I wanted to get back into the restoring of my body, right? And the more water I had, and I would mix before I had my own product, I took all of these different, aspects of the chlorophyll, spirulina, wheatgrass, alfalfa, dandelion, even ginger. Ginger's good for digestion. People having digestion issues and really want to have that, and colon health and getting rid of mucus is good for that. So I stack all of it together in a gallon, and I would sip on it every day. And I noticed my cravings for the processed white sugar would disappear.
Wow.
And then my skin would clear up. And then I had more energy throughout the day. I wasn't crashing. So I made my mother told me this when I was little, but I had to make the own connection for myself.
Sure.
I literally had to heal myself. And by me being that example, and just for myself, people would ask me in school, and I had friends in college that I would visit. They'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I would walk around in the '90s with a gallon of this green, mixed up.
Mhm.
And I wasn't trying to convert nobody to be
Yeah.
vegan or anything. I just would say, hey, even though I was vegan, right, I had an addiction to this, just the sweets and the, overeating, that. And I'll just share my testimony on how
Yeah.
I detox and how the greens restored it. And somebody would be like, I have the same type of thing. And I'll just share what I did for me. And they would come back, yo, that worked. I'm on my greens. I'm on the water. And so that's pretty much how my wellness ministry as a teen started to really be something I was passionate about. Really just wanting to meet people where they may be in their wellness and just encourage them. Of course, I would want everybody to be vegan and plant-based, but that's not the case, right? So I still inspire, even brothers and sisters and people that are still, in the standard American diet or eat, still eat flesh. I just try to encourage them to, master the elements of the greens, have more
Right.
water in your diet, do a lot more movement, meditation, exercise, strength and resistance training. These things bring a balance and a harmony to yourself, and that revelation and that commitment, you'll reach your own conclusion about, what works for you. Because when you start to feel better about yourself, you'll start to make the connection like I did. Wait a minute,
Right.
that's good, but when I eat that, I'm my energy's low. I'm not feeling really good, or maybe something negative happened to me, a relationship didn't work out, and I always go to eat this, right? So you'll start to make these
Uh-huh.
connections between the emotional and consumption,
Yeah.
and the whole thing is to replace the emotional eating with masterful eating, eating
Yeah.
that can actually restore and empower you to live in this vessel, without disease, or to navigate if you even have an ailment. How could you recover and heal from that and be in a greater capacity to live your best life?
Wow. So
Yeah,
let me just tell folks who are as mesmerized as I am, I got to come back and do my job here. What you're watching is our check in and check up for your health chapter today. And with our What You Need to Know newsletter contributor, Cameron Riley. And Cameron is shaking his head along with me, nodding in agreement rather. And but Cameron is one of those who really is from the outside looking, it is a healthy lifestyle kind of guy in terms of
awesome.
exercise and eating things. Cameron, you have any observations or questions initially for SupaNova Slom?
Yeah, I mean, I think SupaNova Slom has said the truth of it, that that the American diet is designed to rob us of our body's ability to discern what's good and what's bad for us. Especially from a issue with regards to Black folks, the systemic destruction of our food network and our food system is designed to weaponize the diseases of high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer to us a million times over than it
Yep.
does to any other race of people. And the way that we reclaim that is by eating well and living well, to reset our pleasure receptors into choosing what is good for us. Our ancestors knew how to do that. Our ancestors knew that
Yeah.
very well. And what's interesting about it, Sybil, and I'll take it one step further, is that vegetables, the sweet potato, spinach, the whole wheats, those things came from Africa. White folks wanted that stuff here in America because they knew back in Africa we were living very well. So
So he's preaching to the choir here with you, SupaNova.
I love it. I mean, you hear me?
Well, yeah, it's just like all of that is already inside of our DNA, and
Yes.
I don't try to push the plant-based agenda on anyone, but I highly recommend, if you could do, meatless Mondays and start tapering off to do like a full plant-based 30 days, your body will be like, wow, I don't need that stuff anymore. Give me some of this. And there's nothing like eating a good nutrient-dense salad and feeling that rush of energy.
Yes.
That's
when you know that you've crossed the threshold.
So let's take a breath and
Cameron.
just kind of take all of this in.
I can definitely go on. Like
I
I love
know,
it.
and we'll
Yeah.
continue the conversation between you two because I'm learning as much as some of our viewers and listeners out there. So let's just take a second and kind of breathe and just remind folks that you are watching. It's Sybil, and this is our check in and check up for your health series. And our very special guest is the healer, the wellness guru for many people around the world. I dare say, SupaNova Slom, and we're talking about his history, and now in our what's really going on segment, can you tell us about your products, your health and wellness company, and the features that you have of wellness foods and supplements?
Absolutely. Well, so I was telling y'all the story about, what my aha moment was. Like I
Mm-hmm.
had to, even though I was raised by my mother being a pioneer for me and a leader for me with holistic wellness, I had to own it for myself. I had to overcome my own personal blockages, right? And that's just a lifelong journey. The whole thing is self mastery, right? So
Right.
we tried different things to figure it out, and this is why even the way I teach, I try to teach in a way just to encourage and inspire. And you take what you need and you design something specific for you. I never. My mother always told me, never argue with other healers or other holistic practitioners because all roads lead to wellness. There's something that we can learn from each other. Of course, unfortunately, Cameron and Sybil, the internet is a cult of personality on so many different levels. So basically, people have this my way, the highway. And I think that there are universal tenets and principles that link us, and if you're dedicated to be that example, then it'll show up. So to your question, once I became activated and I knew I could
Mm-hmm.
heal myself, and I really, I made the core. People tell you foods is medicine. God created the garden of life, but when you actually really sit in it and really connect, like Brother
Mm-hmm.
Cameron said about having get nutrients in salad and activate, when you actually start to making the emotional correlations to blockages in your life, and you start to say, okay, let me replace this with something that's going to be productive, and then you start having productive thoughts. See, that's the operation of holistic health. Holistic health is body, mind, and spirit in you working in tandem for your optimum great self, right? That means you have
Mm-hmm.
to be willing to take action steps every day to build those areas of yourself
Right.
so they can work in harmony for you. So that culminated myself, my brother, Queen of Food's second son, and our partner, Chris Kazi Rowe. We formed a company called Super Mega Foods, and the first product is actually the greens. It was actually the greens that I tried, that I mixed together when I was 15 years old, and it was a concentrated blend. And some, people ask all the time, well, no, but what's the difference between your greens and a lot of other greens? So
Sure.
first of all, all the greens are great. They're all going to get you somewhere, right? The distinction with this blend is that I didn't want fillers. Now there are good
Mm-hmm.
fillers and bad fillers, right? Because even good fillers are good, right? But
Even
they
in our
still are fillers.
supplements, we get fillers in a lot of respects, right?
So let me you thank you, Sybil. So the average green product probably looks even more fancier than mine, right? In Whole Foods or Vitamin Shop, right? The first thing you're gonna notice, right? The green blend, and this is 90% of them on the market, is that they'll have the spirulina, maybe the chlorella, and some moringa. They'll play with certain things, but then it'll be like 30, 40 ingredients of awesome stuff. But the more you compact in one product all these ingredients, you're losing the concentrated effect.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So people know what's the difference between your greens and everybody else's greens is that this is a concentrated blend. When I was 15 years old, I felt that my skin was out of order. I had no energy, right? And I needed something that would shake me into my wellness. I
Right.
needed something that would just, no, I didn't want it to be sweet because it's not really bitter, but it isn't really, the taste is maybe to
It's an
green tea. For
acquired
those, how does it
taste.
taste? Right. Well, I would say kind of similar to green tea, but one thing about this blend is if you mix it with any fruit juice, it'll take on the taste of that fruit juice. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
dominate, right? It's
Okay.
light. Anyway, so the blend in here is, like I said, the chlorella, the alfalfa, the dandelion, the spirulina, the wheatgrass, the barley, the ginger. Just 7 ingredients. That's it.
Wow.
6 chlorophyll micronutrient base, 2 from the sea, 4 from the land, 1 ginger. That's all you're gonna get. Because I
Yes,
know
indeed.
if someone can have a concentrated blend, if they need energy boost, they're gonna get that. No fillers, right? There's no need to put the acai berries and this and that. That's cool.
Right,
There's no
right.
need to do that if you're really specifically trying to wean yourself off of the addictions of the processed sugar or the junk food, right? So you need something that you can just put in some water simply. You can blend it up. You can give it to a toddlers can have it, adults, older folks. Something real simple in a fruit juice and a shake, a grab and go, and immediately it's speaking to your cells. It's communicating to your cells. It's dialing back in that nutrients to your cells. Because it's a concentrated blend and it's chlorophyll, right? This is liquid sun for the most part because all the plant life on our planet is being charged by the sun, right? And it's taking all that sun power. And if we can put that light in our body, right, then we become illuminate, just internal. We internalize in the green. We can bring that fortification. So the point was to create a concentrated blend that's not like, because that's not the market standard is to mix all types of stuff. I
Right.
have aloe mixed with this. I have berries and cherries and watermelon. And, oh, this has watermelon seeds from Hawaii. Oh, this has the mango from South Africa. So you get so caught up in the exotic excitement of the list, you're not necessarily meeting a concentrated salute to maybe an issue or something that you may need to get immediately in the conversation with the concentrated blend. And so that became our conversation to do all of our products. You know, we had this was the first one we rocked with, and we created what we call the Super Mega Protein for those that you know, are doing the physical fitness, you know, the way they want to work out. And so this is, you can stack it with the green, because this is also a protein, you know, all those micronutrients together are protein based, you know, amino acids. But if you really want to extend it, you know, in the blend, we have the sprouted brown rice. We have the pea protein, the pumpkin protein, you know, all of that inside of the blend. We have the moringa. We have some chlorella in there. So if you really want that conversation, we have that. We also, you know, during the COVID time that we're in, right? Don't want to flag you. During this time, you know, the immune system is the conversation, right? So then we created a tincture that you can just one drop under the tongue, babies, elders, all ages, vitamin C, vitamin D, elderberry, right? All of that's in the blend, you know. And so like that, you know, reishi mushroom, olive leaf. All of those, we just wanted to keep in every product we do concentrated blends to speak to the call that someone needs. So if someone says, I need to really stack my immunity and have that armor during this time that I'm navigating, you would want to get your reishi mushroom and your elderberry, your vitamin C, your vitamin D, right? You want that nice, not fillers, concentrated. You know, if you really want to stack that, you know, put that in your water, stack that with the greens, and you can stack it with the protein. So everything is real simple. And we also wanted basic ingredients in the product that one can research.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to just hear from me. I want you to be able to look up the benefits of reishi mushroom. What are the benefits of vitamin D? You know, vitamin E. What are the benefits of vitamin C? What are the benefits of chlorella and spirulina, alfalfa, dandelion? And I wanted to make it simple where if a parent was teaching with a child, they can look it up together. They can Google it together and be more excited in informing yourself of what you're putting inside you. And that's my thing. A lot of people say, with the taste. Well, listen, if ginger helps
that's
with
what Brenda Brooks Perry is asking on YouTube. Does it have an aftertaste, or what
no,
kind of taste do you get?
like I was saying with the greens specifically, this blend, the meta greens, if you mix it with apple juice, the only difference you're going to see is the juice will be green. It's light. It's light. So this specific blend is very light, you know. So the only thing I could probably tell you that you may know universally may be green tea, but it's not even dominant like green tea. So you can mix in a mango, it will still taste like mango. If you mix it with cherry or, you know, whatever.
Do you recommend
like
that we
juice.
mix it, or take it straight?
No. So my thing is this with the mega greens, you know, water is the most powerful complement ever, right? But I know people are in transition, and I respect people are in different pockets of where their wellness is. So they
can I put it in my coffee?
Some people have. I know some people have done it. I mean, really, it's actually when you take it with like a shot with just some water and maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of this, you don't need the coffee because it gives you that same type of kick. But I do know people that actually put it in their coffee. I do
Right.
people put it in coffee, and you can mix it with any fruit juice. I would say water, especially if you're
Sure.
trying to detox, right? Just wanted to speak to this
Right.
about Pastor Sybil. For those who are detoxing, right? The Master Cleanse years ago was something phenomenal. Everybody loved the Master Cleanse, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, the lemon, good stuff, right? It helps to expel mucus. Maple syrup because people just want something sweet,
Mm-hmm.
right? The water is the superfood, and cayenne is good for digestion and also keeping same thing with the respiratory, right?
Sure.
Good stuff. The thing is, with the human body every day needs some form of amino acids to continue to
Mm-hmm.
grow and develop, right? So even if you don't eat the meat, you get it from fruits and vegetables. You need some type, even if it's in liquid form, to continue to sustain itself. So when you take something like the Master Cleanse, right? Let's say 21 days. When you take 21 days of the cleanse, you will detox. You will probably lose weight, lose blockage, expel. Now, what happens 72 hours after a Master Cleanse or most fast is
Mm-hmm.
that people binge, because what they're trying
Yeah.
to do now is compete with the deficit that they did in the 21 days. So
Mm-hmm.
they find themselves yo-yoing, right?
Yeah.
And so this is why I say that's not the perfect example for a cleanse, because the body needs to be fed. So if you would add a scoop of the greens to your Master Cleanse blend or whatever blend of liquid over 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, the micronutrients blend in the
Mm-hmm.
greens, the chlorophyll, helps to feed the cells, so you're not overeating. So not
Oh,
only are you detoxing, but your body's being fed. You're
Right.
feeding, right?
Right.
And Brother Cameron and Sybil, the chlorophyll makeup is similar to our structure of our bloodstream, the human
Mm-hmm.
bloodstream. So this is why when you are binging on the sugar, the chlorophyll replaces it quick. And
uh,
that's why I wanted to create a master blend that was not distracted by all types of exotic fruits and vegetables, because I know that if I honor the structure of chlorophyll in all of its micronutrients, the user will have a benefit directly, by investing in themselves.
So, SuperNova Slom is our guest today as we check in and check up on our health. And going to see the doctor is a part of this, but taking care of our health. He has been dubbed
Absolutely. Absolutely.
hip hop's medicine man, and spreading his message to the hip hop generation through various media. You're a producer, you're a documentarian, you're an author, and you are a wellness coach, as we have said. But people are watching and they're listening as you are, taking the blend in your nice glassware today.
Simple.
Um,
You have to have your greens in elegance. You must have your greens in a way that looks
so
great and
people
tastes
are
great.
asking,
Yes.
where can I get it? How do we get on board the Supernova
Yes.
Slom
Right.
train,
So,
as it were?
I'm gonna, because we're with our beloved Sybil tonight, wherever you may be, you're gonna get the discount code, right, for the family, at 20% off at Super 20, capital SUPA, all caps. You put all caps Super 20 inside of the checkout, and then you
Hmm.
go to supermegafoods.com, just how you see it. Supermegafoods.com.
There we
Okay.
go. We have
So
it
you go to
there.
supermegafoods.com, yes, and when you get to the checkout, capital all caps SUPA, and then the number 20, and you'll get 20% off. Okay, and
okay.
that's all across all the products.
Um,
Can I speak to
of
you
course.
mentioned the doctor, right? So I want to tell brothers and sisters, because we live in a time right now where we need all hands on deck with wellness, and for so many years, the allopathic and homeopathic communities kind of was split.
Hmm.
But when you don't, like COVID has taught us that we are all at different levels of wellness, right?
Right.
And you need all the support you can get. So if you're
Right.
seeing your doctor, right, but you're interested in really getting back into nature and organic foods and so forth, don't stop seeing your doctor, because your doctor has has all of the things that you can scan you, observe you as you're doing your thing. So what happens is, if you have a doctor that really appreciates you, right, and really pouring into you, over time, if you improve, the medication will draw back, right?
Hmm.
And if you're hydrating more, having your greens, and you're doing your movement meditation, your exercise, and so forth, you're making powerful changes in your diet. Cameron spoke to some of the things earlier about having powerful salads and so forth, and other things that will help you. If you do that and you work with holistically and you work with your allopathic, your doctor, they'll start to say, yo, you seem like
Mm-hmm.
your blood is getting better. It seems like, your skin is, your ailment is disappearing. What are you doing? And that's when you say, hey, I've been doing this, doing that. And then the doctor can work with you and kind of engage with you on the best route for you to take. So even though people come to me, come to my mother, we always encourage brothers and sisters who already have a doctor that they work with, continue to work with them and find a relationship for your route of wellness that would work for you, right? Now, if you are already holistic and you're already into the natural foods and so forth, it's always a time that we can make a deeper commitment to our commitment, right? And this is the thing I tell brothers and sisters, whether you plant-based or not, right? Your body, right, is mainly water, 70% water, right? The planet you live on is water.
Right.
If you want to be in harmony with the planet and the body you live on, you have to drink more water. I know it sounds cliche and just like water, but let's sit into the science of that. This is the
Right.
water planet, and we're mainly water bodies. And so so the body forms blockages, mucus blockages, or lack of flow of oxygen, and just how the body's set up. If it's not operating on its optimum level, most times the first sign is hydration. When you go to the hospital, what's the first thing they do? An IV.
Fluids.
Fluids. Because that's the first, before they do everything else with you, they say, okay, we're going to put this in, you get you some fluids while we figure everything else out. So that's what you need to do when you're not in the hospital, is you need to get with the fluids to figure yourself out.
Right.
And you'll notice that you'll be more in harmony with the planet you're on because, you're the water. The second compliment to the planet is, right, it's chlorophyll. Everywhere you look is plants, right? So the more you get greens in your diet, through your vegetables, through your fruits, and definitely through your micronutrients like the greens, right? In complement to the water, you're already in tune with the planet you live on. The planet you live on is mainly water and greens. Now, I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I'm saying it's a start for anybody, whether you're plant-based, vegan, or you're just out here just trying to figure some things out for yourself. Take the wellness walk. Make a wellness commitment. Start small and then make a conscious observation of when you started. So you used to want to be doing it and not being cognizant of yourself.
Right.
You want to pour into yourself, be cognizant of your self-talk, cognizant of what you're putting inside you, and seeing how it makes you feel. If you like how it makes you feel and it feels better, then do more of it. But just keep taking steps. And you know what? And I would just pass the mic to you all. Don't focus about the detox or the weight loss. Start where you are and just have a conversation with the water and the greens. And be patient with yourself. See, you got to lose the weight, not in the get off me. Because see, the fat don't want to. The fat is alive in you.
It's hanging on for dear life on me.
The fat be like, excuse you, right? So you have to actually love the fat away. You have to massage it away. You have to cleanse it away. You can't
Yoga
have
it
this
away, stretch it out. Yeah.
You got to find creative ways so your body can work with you and not against you, right? Because all that blockage and weight we've been carrying a lot of times also is supported by the environment and the relationships we've been having, productive or unproductive, right? So there's a lot of change and shift that will have to happen. Not just the food is not only what you eat, the food is also your thoughts, the foods of your relationships, right? The food is also how you interacting with others. So, we're not only talking about, getting the proper nourishment with your palate, but it's mind, body, and spirit. You really want to find that healthy balance.
SupaNova Slom is our guest today on our check-in and check-up for your health. Cameron Riley who is our wellness guy on this team, along with Sheree White. But we're talking to, and if the voice sounds familiar, he is the son of the great Queen Afua, and who has been leading for generations our wholeness and holistic way of living. Veronica Holman is demonstrating. Folks are already on this, and she said the website states that Super Mega Protein is temporarily sold out. Will it be available soon?
Yes, it'll be the protein will be back by March 1st. But
Okay.
the tincture we talked
Hmm.
about is available. You can put in your tea, one drop under the tongue. Toddlers can have it. Again, just for better immune function, and then the greens are available now too. I have before. I'm going to pass it right to you, but before we close, remind me to share a checklist for you all because I think that you all need to be inspired to. My mother Queen Ford says, make your kitchen a healing laboratory. Because we're home now more than ever, we need
Right.
to create this environment in our homes that reflect, our goals, our actions, and how we really want to, almost like I'm a veteran, so I would say my war room, right? Make sure that I have
Right.
my environment ready to really, so I can deploy in my everyday life and make sure that I have everything I need around me. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm walking outside or going out, everything is much more in harmony. Yeah. So I have a
So
list I'll share with y'all.
okay, so
Yeah.
we're just going to take a breath here and a moment, and just remind folks that you are listening and watching us in our check-in and check-up for your health. We have our very special guest is SupaNova Slom, and just so people know, as we've called you hip hop's, medicine man, and all of this other, and you are the author of books called The Remedy, as well as Man Heal Thyself, right? There we go.
Yep. There we go.
The holistic
Oh,
remedy,
wow.
and
Yeah.
so we want people to be able to get that, as well as we have given you the website address and a special 20% discount for folks who are going to place their order today, and that is Supa in capital letters SUPA 20 in the
Yep.
code box there. All right, so as we wrap this up, I want you to give us that which you have discussed about your
Oh,
mom, and also want to talk about your music as well.
okay, awesome. Yeah, so this thing I meant when we had the pandemic first happen, um, I had to really get active and say because I'm home now, so when I go live, I said how can I really support people to really create a war room or a nutrition kitchen right
Mm-hmm.
in their
Mm.
home while they going through what they're going through right. So this is a list, and like I said, I'm not dogmatic. So if I say something that doesn't work, don't argue about it. Don't argue with anybody else. Just put something that works, right? So, but there's a list of a whole bunch of herbs that you can find in loose form,
Mm-hmm.
like powder form, and in the herb form, or in an extract. So keep that in mind. And some people, the extract, you can either use it in glycerin form or alcohol form, depending upon whatever your thing is. So I really want brothers and sisters to get back into pots, like our grandmothers and aunties from the islands and
Mm-hmm.
from the south. They dealt with the pot, and every time somebody would get sick, go see your aunt or go see your grandma. They know what to do, right? So
Right.
tapping back into, like Brother Cameron said earlier, about our ancestry, right? So some of these things may be familiar. So these are the home remedies I recommend to arm yourself in the midst of the pandemic. And
Okay.
even when we come out of it, brothers and sisters, it's the whole thing is a lifestyle. If you get these principles and tenets and you feel good, find a way to fashion, massage, and create a blueprint or green print for yourself from this day
Mm-hmm.
forward. Allow the pandemic to inspire you to forge a new life of wellness, right? Okay,
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
so I would recommend for those that are taking the mega greens, take
Mm-hmm.
this 3 times a day and some water and or fruit juice, right? The super mega tincture that you all are seeing on the site, you can take that 3 times a day too, once in the morning, midday, or in the evening.
Okay.
Elderberry. So some of these things will be redundant
Mm.
because I have some of these already in my tinctures, right? So
Mm-hmm.
elderberry, okay, golden seal,
Yep.
echinacea, vitamins A, C, and D, mullein, black seed oil,
Mm.
ginger, garlic. Now I know that's controversial. Some people do, some people don't. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
um, Aloe. Now I eat the aloe leaf. I've been eating it since I was a baby. My mother used to give me the aloe leaf. I
Uh-huh.
cut off the edges and I eat the gel, but I eat the skin. Most of the nutrients is in the skin of the aloe. So
Mm.
you can cut up
Oh,
in
okay.
small little pieces if you're trying to really get away from a lot of the cravings and you want to get more into the bitters. It's also good for cleansing the gums and any gum disease or just bad and stiff with your breath. Helps absorb it. So it's known for skin because it helps with the skin.
Mm-hmm.
So most women have it in skin products. They put it in their skin. So
Sure.
what do you think it's going to do internally, right? So if you want to take a step, first just get the gel. It's a little bitter, but bitter is always better, right? And then when you start getting more durability, eat some of the skin, even if it's small little chunks, and just start moving it around in your mouth. Okay, so you got the aloe, turmeric.
And I need to. We're about to run out of time, and so
Okay,
I do want.
I'll rapid fire.
Okay,
I'll rapid
okay,
fire. Okay,
okay.
okay. Turmeric, onion, cayenne, sea moss, bladderwrack, sea kelp, ashwagandha, reishi, cloves, cinnamon, dandelion root, burdock root, nettle, sarsaparilla, oregano oil, cypre elm, black pepper, lemon and lime water. Hydrate daily. Try to get a gallon in your body from AM to PM, and rest.
There you go.
and the exercise comes from just running to the bathroom.
Absolutely. Look at it as a libation. When you say, I gotta go to the bathroom, look at it as a libation. Set an intention. Let it go.
SupaNova Slom, you are wonderful, an incredible font of information. We want to thank you so much. How can people get more information, and give us the website and also your social media addresses?
Yes, I'm at SupaNova Slom. This is how you see it here. SupaNovaSlom. I'm here on YouTube. SupaNova Slom on Facebook. SupaNova Slom on Instagram and Twitter. And all of the websites are pretty much wherever you can find me. But again, if you're here right now, you can go to www.supermegafoods.com. The two books, they have a book for men's health called Man Heal Thyself and The Holistic Remedy. And you can find both of these books on Amazon. So this is the new one we put out, me and my mother together, encouraging men to just be more holistic and self-care. You know, we need our men to honor their self-care. And some of the remedies that I share with you are echoed in this book called The Holistic Remedy. And both of them are available on Amazon. Thank you so much, Brother Cameron and Sister Sybil. I appreciate y'all.
May I just thank your mother through you for all that she has done for women, especially in terms of taking care of our bodies and really becoming one with ourselves, as well as how to better improve our lifestyles and our health and everything else. She's just been an amazing pioneer in this business. So we thank her and giving us you as well. So will you come back and join us, SupaNova Slom?
Yeah, whenever y'all have me, I'm here. We can chop up some remedies and just encourage our people to be well. I'm here to support. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. I just want to close,
Thank you, Brother Cameron. Thank you, Sybil.
As we close every day, I want folks to remember Yogi's Jewel. Remember to laugh. If you can't laugh, smile, because the happiness is within you. Rediscover it, rediscover that, and choose life. And you've given us life here today, SupaNova Slom. Thank you so much. Cam, thanks for joining us. And I'm on the train with you guys.
Come on, let's go. Wellness salute to y'all. Blessings. Thank you,
Commander.